Do not say, I lost the bus. Say, I missed the bus. It is incorrect to say, I have a good news for you. I went by train, not in the train. We suffer from a disease. We die of a disease. She is taller than her, not she is more tall than her. Do we say she is married with a doctor, or do we say she is married to a doctor? Do we say I am agree with you, or do we say I agree with you? In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top common grammar mistakes made mostly by beginners when speaking in English. I'm not only going to give you the mistake, I'm also going to give you a reason why it's wrong and give you the correct way to say it. So be keen so you avoid making these mistakes. Do not say, I lost the bus. Say, I missed the bus. It is incorrect to say I lost the bus in this situation because lost means something has been taken or you don't know the whereabouts of that thing and it cannot be recovered. You cannot recover it. You lost it. It is correct to say we lost the match. You lost it. You cannot recover losing the match. You can say I lost my pen. You don't know where your pen is, you cannot recover it, you lost it. Lost is used when you do not know where that thing is, you cannot find it, and you cannot recover it. It is lost. In this case, the bus is not dead or it has not been taken away from you in a way that you cannot recover it. So we say you missed the bus. You arrived late at the bus station and the bus left without you. But you can always recover it by booking another bus or using another bus instead of the bus that has gone. So you missed the bus, not lost the bus. Let's move to the second grammar mistake. It's incorrect to say, I have a good news for you. Instead, say, I have good news for you. This is because the article a is used to indicate that a noun is in its singular form, and the noun news falls into a category of nouns known as uncountable nouns. That means it cannot be counted, and therefore we cannot say one news, two news. Uncountable nouns include things like sugar, information, advice, money, luggage. These nouns cannot be counted. We cannot use the article a. Instead, we can use some. I have some news for you. I have some luggage for you. I have some advice for you. So it's incorrect to say, I have a good news for you. Instead, I have some good news for you, or I have good news for you. Another commonly made grammar mistake is saying, I'm going to London in the train. Instead of saying that, say, I'm going to London by train. The reason is when you're talking about general ways to travel, always use the preposition by. For instance, by bus, by boat, by jet, by train, by car. Every time you're referring to a general way to travel, ensure you use the preposition by. I went by car. I went by train, not in the train or in the car. Let's get to the fourth mistake. So let's say someone died because they had measles. How do we say? Did they die from measles or did they die of measles? Most learners would say she died from measles, which is very incorrect. This is because it's incorrect to say someone died from a disease. People suffer from a disease and die of a disease. If someone dies because they had cancer, they died of cancer, they died of diabetes, they died of typhoid. We suffer from a disease, we die of a disease. Died of means died as a result of the disease. Although we can use die from when the cause of death is external. Like for instance, when an accident occurs, people die from accidents, people die from a disaster. Don't confuse the two. When you're comparing two tall people, do you say she is more tall or do you say she is taller than the other? The mistake most learners make is they say she is more tall than her instead of saying she is taller than her, which is the correct way to compare the two. Tall is a regular adjective. By regular adjective, I mean we can say tall, taller, tallest, small, smaller, smallest, big, bigger, biggest. Irregular adjectives are adjectives that have two or more syllables, like beautiful, expensive. In such cases, we use more to create the comparative form of the adjective. She is more beautiful than her. This hotel is more expensive than the last hotel. Although in this case, taller is the comparative degree of the adjective tall, and we use it to compare two things: tall, taller, taller. She is taller than her, not she is more tall than her. If Stacy marries a doctor, do we say she is married with a doctor, or do we say she is married to a doctor? The mistake is most people say she is married with a doctor, which is incorrect. Instead, we should say she is married to a doctor. And this is because usually after using married, there's no need to add a preposition. We can say Stacy married a doctor or a doctor married Stacy. But when using passive voice means reported voice, basically telling someone what has already happened. Stacy was married to a doctor. Stacy is married to a doctor. Hero was married to a heroine, not with a heroine. Get it? Okay, let's move to the seventh and the last mistake. So when someone is saying something that you align with, do we say I am agree with you, or do we say I agree with you? Most learners would say I am agree with you, which is wrong. Instead, we should say I agree with you. And this is because in English we can never add a to be before a verb. A to be means I am to be. So we can never use I am before a verb unless the verb is in its continuous ing form or the verb is a passive verb. For instance, we cannot say I am listen. We can say I am listening, continuous form. We cannot say I am eat. We can say I am eating. But we can say I listen, I eat, I agree, not I am agree. Never use it before any verb. So, do you agree with me that you should stop, you should avoid making these mistakes that I have stated in this video? If you do, then hit that like button and ensure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming video. If you'd like to know how to think in English, I'd recommend you to watch this video. And with that being said, let's catch up in my next video. Bye bye.